How are you guys doing? I'm sitting here and there has been something that's been on my mind. I hope everybody's doing well. Um the way we look at I hope you guys can hear me. Come on in. I hope everybody's doing well. I want to thank you guys for being with me for a very long time. Liking my videos. Hit that button. This is Jennifer Felix. Um, Last night I had a dream and I seen something. Um, and I want to talk about this because it's very interesting, right? Um, we are in a thought prison, right? So think of it as a thought prison is the matrix, right? And everything in the matrix is simultaneously going on at the same time, right? So every day we're living our lives simultaneously doing whatever you're doing, right? And you can only see what's in front of you, right? And also with religion, okay? Let's take religion. Today's a Sunday, right? So many people have probably just came from church. Many people on my channel might be atheists. I don't know what you are, right? Um, but we have to respect people's views and respect who people are, right? So let's talk about this thought prison, right? So in this thought prison, the matrix that we're in, right? I'm sitting here in my car, right? This thought prison. Some of you guys have came from church, right? So what happens in the matrix is what we're actually doing, okay? Just follow me, you guys, okay? Remember I said that we're in a stimulation. We're in a hologram stimulation, right? So the thought prison, the matrix that they want to keep us in is keeping us connected to certain ties, right? So say I'm a Scientologist, an atheist, or Catholic, whatever I am. This is how they keep you entrapped um, in this um, soul trap, okay? Because they want to have you believing that your reality is really your reality, right? And to even think past that our reality is not our reality, that we make our own reality is hard to grasp, okay? Um so right now whatever you're doing, right? You're doing it from how can I say it? You're doing it from a perspective of okay, I'm sitting in my car, right? But I'm getting ready to drive, right? So I see the road in front of me, right? But I don't see everything else that's going on around me, right? That is a thought prison where you can only see what's in front of you, not around you or in front of you. Like really in front of you. I see a long road in front of me, right? But I see so much more than that, right? So okay. So what I know this is hard to explain for people that don't understand that the concept that we're in a hologram computer system, okay? The matrix, literally the matrix. And when we have those deja vu moments, right? We've already experienced that, okay? In the hologram matrix, okay? In the computer matrix. I know I may sound crazy. So I had a dream yesterday, okay? And this dream was so real, okay? Because I actually experienced it, okay? Remember when I told you guys that I seen a circle in the sky, right? Like the sky opening up, right? And when the sky opened up, people were trying to leave, okay? Now, a couple, what? a couple weeks ago or about a month ago, my daughter sent me a picture. She was in Tennessee at the time. Um, of it looked like a ring, right? And I said that it will look like the sky will open up, right? People have seen it in other places like New Mexico and stuff like that. So this is a past dream, but I'm gonna get to this dream that I just had last night. Okay, so the sky was opening up like a portal. Okay, like the sun, right? It's like a portal, right, to other dimensions. And a lot of times we're seeing things on the 3D or 5D dimension, right? But there's so much else going around us on the higher dimensions, right? The higher frequencies, right? And a lot of times we can't even see it because we're so distracted on the road. I'm saying the road because I'm seeing like a road in front of me, but what's in front of us, but we can't see what's around us or really what's in front of us, right? So I remember I had the dream that the sky opened, and I remember there was a child with me, and I was trying to grab the child's hand. It goes back to my previous videos, and I was trying to go up into this portal, okay? Um, and then I realized that the portal that I was trying to go up in, okay, because everybody was in a frantic and everybody was trying to get out of here, right? So everybody was trying to go through this portal, right? Trying to go up. Because if we look at it in biblical text, it talks about how there will be the trumpet, you will hear the trumpet, you will see angels appear, right? But there was no angels. It was just the sky opened up. It looked like a ring, right? So I remember I went back to scripture, right? Um, and but something told me in my spirit, this is not real. Okay, this is a hologram. This is a hologram. So I stopped in my footsteps, right? Because I realized that, and my spirit myself was talking to myself and saying this is not real. This is an illusion and a delusion, right? So we're gonna see a lot of these rings appear, okay? Um, in the sky, okay? Now, remember I said they're doing holograms. Okay, this is so hard to explain. Remember I said they're doing holograms and they're doing different stuff, right? That makes it seem like we're having certain events in our life, right? But some of the events we're actually seeing, right? But we're not really seeing what's going on behind the event, right? We're seeing the event appear to us. Like 9/11, when we seen the planes crash into the buildings. I always use 9/11. I don't know why, but we seen the planes crash into the buildings, but it wasn't the planes, okay? It was a hologram, and it was something else behind that, okay, that actually crashed into the building, okay? So what I'm trying to say is, I'm going to get to my dream, okay? Come on in, you guys. I'm going to get to my dream. So I want to go back to the time when I had a dream and I encountered the Pleiadians. My son always says I say their name wrong. The Pleiadians, whatever. Okay, so all this is intertwined. Okay, all this is connected in some kind of way. So when I had the dream about the Pleiadians, for some of you guys that were not on my channel at that time when I did that live video, the Pleiadians came to me in a dream. And they explained to me that there's councils, okay? Hold on. I had to pull over. But they explained to me that there was councils, right? So when I was taken up in the dream, well, I was actually astral projecting into another dimension. And they showed me they were around a table, right? Now, around this table, they were talking telepathically, right? Which some of us, we can communicate telepathically, right? We don't even know we have the ability, but we do have the ability to telepathically communicate. They call these people seers. A lot of us are seers, right? So they show me the council, okay? And they were showing me what was going on as far as the matrix, okay? So the Pleiadians, they walk amongst us, okay? They change into human form, okay? A lot of people that have encountered them, which I have, they look really pale white, okay? So I remember when I was in the council, but standing in the back of the council, um, standing behind them, they talked about another council, right? Remember, you guys? And I said I was going to come back and do that video, right? So the other council that they were talking about was a council that is on the 3D and 5D as we know it, right? So what has been going on for quite some time, we can only see the wars in the physical realm, okay? What's going on in the physical realm as far as wars, right? Like the war that's going on in Ukraine, the war that's going on in Palestine and Israel, right? We can only see those physical wars, right? But we can't see the spiritual wars that are going on, okay? So for a very long time, there has been spiritual wars going on, right? With different, I'm going to call them star ancestors because that's what they are. They're from different galaxies, okay? Saturn, um, okay, Mars, okay, different galaxies that we have very little information about. Some of us have some information, but a lot of us don't have information. There's different accounts, but anyways, the council. So, hold on. So, the council that I was being shown on the astral, okay, was the Pleiadian Council. I might be saying their name wrong. My son always says I say their name wrong, but don't worry about it. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? So they show me a council here, right? But it wasn't okay. So the council that they're talking about here is different from the council up there, okay? There's another hierarchy, okay? So there's a war going on in the galaxy, which we cannot see. And I know I sound crazy, you guys, but a lot of you guys been with me for a long time. You can comment below, okay? So I've talked about the Anunnakis. I talked about the Draconian race, which are known as the reptilian race, which we know as the draconian race. And there's different draconian races, right? So in the Matrix, how they get us is, okay, so I was shown a council, right, yesterday, and I barely slept because it was so real that I was actually there, okay? And I was observing it and shown it, and I was like terrified, okay? Because I didn't want to see what I wanted to see, right? And so there is a war going on, and they have to have control of the third and fifth dimension, right? Because these entities cannot go to the higher dimensions, okay? They can only stay on certain dimensions. So they manipulate the dimensions they can manipulate and control, okay? And this has been going on for generations and generations and generations and generations and generations, right? So it's interesting how when I did the video, remember I did the video because I was I actually came across reptilians, and some people reptilians, they know they're a reptilian because their eyes would change. It would freak them out because they don't even know what's going on, right? And there's something with the actual sun, and there's something with the actual sound, okay? But what I was shown was a war. So what they do is to keep the matrix going, to keep the programming going, they have to with the DNA, the RNA, and the DNA, they have to inbreed, okay? Um, and you don't even know, like some people that are seers, if you know what I mean, the seers, they talked about seers from the beginning of time, right? Um, Seers are somebody, people that, or they even called them, what was that? They called them seers because they kept calling us seers and was calling me seer, right? But they were, it was something else. I can't remember the name of it, but it will come to me. So what I'm saying is they have to inbreed with the humans as we know as humans. The reason why is because they have to have control. Okay? So there has to be inbreeding with um draconians, okay? So that's the reptilian race, okay? So say um you meet a man and he is a hybrid, okay? And you have children, your children be hybrids, okay? Remember when I talked about the RNA, DNA, and the DNA, okay? So that is what's going on too, okay? And a lot of things are holograms, okay? Um, and we are raising our consciousness as a collective, okay? So what I was shown was a council, but this council was not a council of the light bearers or the light, because we are the light bearers, okay? We bring light into the atmosphere that we're in. We bring light into the dimension that we're in. But this was different, okay? Um, it had me like when I actually seen it, because I was trying to do a video on this for a very long time about the council. And a lot of you guys don't understand this. The council of the Draconians, um, or the Anunnakis, okay? A lot of people say they are the bloodline of the Anunnakis. Now, that is true, okay? People are walking around here with the bloodline of the Anunnakis, okay? Um, I'm going to tell you some signs that you can tell that you are a Draconian bloodline or Draconian hybrid line from that bloodline, and tell you what else is going on, okay? So I seen this council, reptilians, of course, and when I was seeing them, they freaked me out because there's different kind of reptilians. They weren't like my neighbor, okay? The one I told you that was shape shifting in front of me, okay? Um, so there's a council, okay? And when they do rituals, they're actually connecting also to these councils of the Draconian Council, okay? That's what you want to call it. And the Draconian Council has a, how can I say this? They're intertwined with the human council of the lower realm, okay? If that's how you want to call it, okay? So the dream was kind of scary. Um, and I wanted to talk about this other council because I did talk about the Palladium Council. There is so many um, star ancestors, galaxy beings, and they walk amongst us. Okay, like Men in Black, literally. So I know I sound crazy, you guys. Somebody say hi. Um, but I'm not crazy, okay? Um, I'm just a seer, and I'm really tapped in. And sometimes when you're truly tapped in, you don't have nobody else to talk to about these things because they'll think you're batshit crazy, right? So the hybrids are the offsprings of the draconian race, okay? A lot of us out here are the hybrids of the draconian race. So let me explain how you know. So, and I want to explain to you about what is going on. Okay? So there's a particular bloodline that I've talked about, right? They don't know where this bloodline comes from. This is the one of the ancient bloodlines, because I was shown blood, right? And I did videos on this, about this bloodline, right? Um, it's O negative, okay? O negative bloodline, right? The O negative bloodline or negative O bloodline, they don't know where this bloodline comes from. Now, I seen a video and this guy was saying that it's a royal bloodline, right? And when we think of royal bloodline, we think of royalty, right? But that's not necessarily true. This is a bloodline, an ancient bloodline, because they don't know where this bloodline came from. Because this bloodline don't come from here, okay? This bloodline comes from an ancient civilization, from the star ancestors. So what's happening is when you are half draconian or a hybrid of a draconian, you will have your blood will probably be O negative or negative O. This is bloodline can save anybody, but they can't take. See, this is how we know this bloodline's ancient, because you can't receive from nobody, but they can. Like if you get in an accident right now and you are in a bad car accident and you need to receive blood, the blood that they're going to give you is the O negative blood or negative O, because that blood is going to save your life. It don't matter if you're A positive, AB positive, or whatever. They're going to give you that blood, right? But the problem with somebody that gets in a car accident that has negative O or O negative blood, they can't receive the blood from anybody else. The positive A or AB is because they're from an ancient bloodline, okay? So it's very interesting, the dream that I had and what I actually seen, and the war that's going on, for the human race itself, right? So I'm going to explain something to you guys. When I do psychic reads, and I'm not trying to brag, I'm not trying to boast or none of that. You cannot teach somebody to be psychic. They have to be born psychic, medium, whatever. There's people out here that don't even know they're psychic. I come across that all the time in my reads, right? All this is intertwined on what I'm about to tell you. So people don't even know that they have a gift, because a lot of us have a gift. We can telepathically communicate. We have the intuition, but a lot of us don't follow that intuition, that inner voice. Okay. So what I notice is when I do the reads, on people, um, there is a disconnect, right, from our true self, because a lot of people don't know their true self, so they're out here seeking, um how can I everybody's seeking spiritual knowledge, everybody's seeking wisdom, um and to truly seek it and to truly find it. When I do the reads, it's very interesting, the energies that I'm pulling, okay? And I just did a read a few days ago, and it was interesting. The read that I did, I knew the person was going to call. I knew the person that I was reading on was not fully human. It was a hybrid, okay? A hybrid human being. And this person was going to commit suicide, okay? Now, I know he was hearing from the other side, okay? And when he first called me, I want to talk about this and then go back to the Matrix. So, when you have a gift and you're hearing or seeing, and you can't believe what you're hearing, you can't believe you're seeing, you have to be so grounded sometimes, because if you're not grounded, you will go batshit crazy. Truly batshit crazy out here. And that's what happens to a lot of people that have true psychic ability. They wind up in mental hospitals because they can't take in everything that they're receiving and feeling. It's too much. Okay, it's too much to bear. And when he called me, I knew right away that he was suicidal before he even spoke. Because when he called me, he was crying, right? He was in tears. But I was picking up over the phone that this was not a fully human being. This was a hybrid being, right? And he was hearing from the other side, right? And I can give you a read all day, but if you're not grounded, there's only certain things that I can do to help you, because you have to help yourself, right? So what I'm trying to say is, we are in a matrix. We are in a stimulated hologram, computer, whatever you want to call it. Um, and there's a spiritual war going on all around us. Some of us can feel it, some of us can see it, some of us don't understand it. We probably will never understand it. Um, but we have to stay rooted and grounded, because it will scare you if you knew the truth, right? That's why I say, like, when we look at, okay, so the DNA, they're, okay, so I want to talk about this. So there's a DNA they're looking for, right? And this is the DNA of Daniel. Okay, I'm going to say Daniel. There's a DNA they're specifically looking for, okay? The royal blood, okay? So, and I know this is kind of like off topic, but this has something to do with, this is all intertwined. So they're looking for a royal bloodline. This royal bloodline, you know, when you do the ancestry and you go to the doctors and they take your blood, and I remember just recently, and this is all intertwined, okay? So I had to go take a blood test. I'll never forget it. This was recently, and I never had them do a particular test, right? So I was questioning it because I've been in the healthcare field, right? And I'm like, why do you need to do this? Okay, why? And they were like, we need to make sure you don't have, nothing going on, your nervous system and all this other stuff, right? But I'm like, they didn't have to do that test, right? They wanted to do that test because they're looking for a specific bloodline, okay? I call it the ancient bloodline, okay? Now, you can go back to my videos. I have did videos on the ancient bloodline, okay? That is the royal bloodline, okay? So when you have this ancient bloodline, you are being attacked out here on the physical plane and on the spiritual plane, okay? And you are a target individual because of your bloodline, okay? And they're trying to wipe out this bloodline, okay? Um, and many people know that there is this bloodline out here, okay? They don't talk about it, but they know it, okay? Remember when I did a psychic read and I told you I kept seeing the Crusaders? Okay, they had the, for the Catholic Church and stuff. Okay, they're behind this. Okay, they're behind looking for this royal bloodline. Okay, because this royal bloodline they have to destroy, because this royal bloodline of people that are here for a reason. Okay, we are the light bearers or the light beings. Okay, and I know I may sound crazy, but I'm not crazy. Okay, so the dream that I had was very profound, because there's going to be things that are going to take place that are supernatural. Okay, that you see movies about, you may have read books about, and we have to be very careful because a lot of it is a hologram. Okay, a hologram, and we can be drawn into this by thinking, okay, this is something that was in the actual biblical text, like the trumpet, the horse, the angels falling, right? So we have to be careful because these galaxy ancestors know all about this, okay? And I remember when I was doing a read on Rome, and I kept seeing the gargoyles, okay? Gargoyles, okay? Every time I do a read on Rome or the Vatican, I see gargoyles, okay? In the spiritual realm, okay? Even when I did the read on the Denver, Colorado airport, and I didn't even know they had a gargoyle there. Um, I didn't even know they had a gargoyle there at the actual airport until I seen some pictures. But every time I do a read, I want to stay on Vatican City, okay? So they know about this ancient bloodline. So it's called the Holy Grail, okay? The ancient bloodline is actually the Holy Grail, okay? The Holy Grail. That's what it is, okay? It's not a cup. It's a bloodline, okay? That is the Holy Grail. It's the actual bloodline, okay? They have to get rid of this bloodline. They have to get rid of this bloodline because it is the Holy Grail itself, okay? The ancient ones, the star ancestors know about this, okay? Because they had to send people here to protect the human race as we know it, okay? Because a lot of us are descendants of different makeup, of different races, Anunnakis, Pleiadians, different star ancestors, also the falling angels, okay? Because there was inbreeding, and they continue to do inbreeding, okay? With different bloodlines, okay? Um, so I just wanted to come on here and talk about that. I've been wanting to do this video for a while, but when I had that dream yesterday, I couldn't sleep. Um, it was crazy because when I first encountered a reptilian, um, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. Okay, not all of them shapeshift. Um, and what I mean by not all of them shapeshift, um, the one my neighbor actually shapeshift, caught it on camera. I showed the video. I don't, and the thing is, even if you see it, if you don't have the eyes to really see, you're not going to see what I'm talking about, right? And the son was also reptilian, and I couldn't believe that the little boy, okay, was reptilian too. So it is inbreeding, okay. So they're looking for a Pacific bloodline, and I'm gonna call it the bloodline of Daniel, okay. And that is why the Crusaders, okay, when I did the read and I was being shown the Crusaders, I'm like, why am I being shown the Crusaders, okay? The Crusaders are ancient, right? Um, long time ago, before our time, okay? They work for the Catholic Church, okay? Um, and we were told that they were looking for the Holy Grail. The Holy Grail is the holy bloodline, okay? There's offsprings of the holy bloodline, okay? So that is the Holy Grail, okay? That's why they can't understand where this ancient blood comes from, the negative O or O negative blood. So, okay, so let me tell you guys signs. Signs of the royal bloodline, okay? So, your blood pressure will be normally, this is what I was shown, okay? So, a normal blood pressure weight, if you look at systolic, diastolic, it's 120 over 60, right? So, a royal bloodline person, right, will have a blood pressure normally 95. It will be under the 120 and will always be like that for the rest of their life, right? Another way, and also this can also mean too for the reptilian race, because the reptilian race too has this, okay? Some reptilians, okay? So another thing is you're anemic, okay? You're always cold, okay? That is another way you can detect you're not from a human bloodline, okay? The sun, okay? A lot of melanated, I'm melanated. A lot of you guys are melanated. Some of you guys are not melanated, okay? You will either need sun, okay? Now, if you're more draconian, you won't be in the sun, okay? If you're from a higher bloodline, you have to be in the sun, okay? If this makes sense. For the ones that want to call themselves. So you got to be careful, because if we talk about the Anunnakis are the fallen angels, okay? So they come from a royal bloodline, right? They come from the fallen angels that descended. The bloodline that they're looking for, the pure bloodline, the bloodline that has not been bred with, okay? So those are some of the signs. Also, another thing is anxiety. Um, Anxiety is, if you think about it, anxiety is normally something you fear, right? But also, it's like you can feel everything around you, okay? You can be sitting still and feel everything around you, the trees. I'm not talking about the breeze, okay? The ground, okay? Like you're floating, okay? Um, so that is another way, and there's also more. But anyways, the Holy Grail is actually a bloodline, okay? So the Crusaders, as we know it, were looking for that certain bloodline, okay? So they need to get rid of that bloodline, okay? And I'll call it the bloodline of the Holy Grail or Daniel, okay? But you guys comment below, hit the like button. Tell me your thoughts. There's some videos I want to get out, and I gotta get them out because I haven't been on here for a while, you guys, and I miss you guys. But the dream that I had was very profound. Um, I couldn't sleep. Yesterday, I was in the mountains. Okay. There's something with the altitude too. It was, the air was cle- uh, clear, cleaner. Um, I could feel more at a higher altitude. It was very bizarre. Okay. I spent a night. Okay. Um, and, very interesting. Okay. Very interesting. But, I wanted to talk about the council because there's many councils, but the councils we have to worry about the most is the councils of that is controlling the matrix, okay? Because if you cannot see, remember in the matrix how the woman in the red was walking and then everybody else was walking, and he noticed the woman in the red, right? But if you can't notice the woman in the red, you will see everybody in the same way, right? But how he noticed, he was seeing clearer, okay? So this is what I'm saying. Like, there is different councils, okay? And they call us the seers, okay? These ancient ones call us the seers because we were sent here to bring the light, right? What I mean is bring the light, or the light bearers is to bring light, shed light onto what's really going on, okay? So there is a war going on forever, right? Up there, okay? I did many videos. You guys can go back to all my previous videos. Um and it was very profound because now, like, even seeing, when I was doing the read and I kept seeing the Crusaders, I understood what I was seeing, okay? Sometimes it takes time to put everything together, okay? Because you get bits and pieces, okay? I think they do that too. The ones that are trying to help us is because they don't want to overwhelm us, okay? But because what happens is your nervous system will shut down, okay? When they overwhelm you with too much information, okay? Because we're getting downloads constantly, right? But we got to make sure we're not just seeing in front of us, okay? We got to see past that, because there's different dimensions going on, intertwined, um, all around us, above us, like this, okay, at once, okay. So we have to get certain information at certain time because it's too much information to take in, okay. So comment on this video, you guys. Tell me your thoughts. This is Jennifer Felix once again. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, tell me your thoughts. I want to get into some reads, but I wanted to share that the council, I wanted to talk about the council on the physical plane as we know it. Also, I feel like what I was shown is, you know how we always say, as above, so below, right? As within, so without, right? So when I do psychic reads too, and people, loved ones come over, and my loved ones that cross over come towards me, we're upside down, okay? Everything is reverse. So, you know how I say that we could say this is a prison planet? Because you know how I say when they say they crossed over, they're really living, and we're not living. So we are in the land of the dead, okay? In some parallel ways, we are, okay? So think of it, instead of it as above, so below, reverse that, okay? So that would be so below, as above, okay? So that's the way I'm seeing it. And I know it sounds crazy. Um, I think we got a lot of things wrong. I think when we go into the concept, and this is a Sunday, um, they this is why they had to even change the language, because the language will have us also stuck in this matrix, okay? So this is why we have to use our words wisely when we speak, because words can transmit action, okay, for our everyday life. um so we have to be careful of our words. And we have been taught, the language that we have been taught has been reversed to keep us in the spell, okay, in the matrix. So comment below. I've been on here for a long time. I'm going to do another video, but I'll be back on. All right, Jennifer Felix, hit the like button and share. Ashe.